Hi guys, welcome back. So today I'm going to be showing you how to make this detachable peplum. In my last video I showed you guys how to make the wrap blouse, and in this video, as I promised, I'm going to be sharing with you how I made the peplum belt. So this is my piece of paper, and it's 25 by 30 centimeters. Then on the longer edge I just go and then I mark 3 inches or about 7 centimeters on the longer side of the paper, and then I draw a straight line. Then my waist is about 30 inches, so 30 divided by 10, that makes 3 inches. But according to my experience in the past, I've noticed that I only need like 9 panels, and 9 panels are enough to get me to the 30-inch mark. Then I connect those lines. Then using my curved ruler, I now go and then I just make a curve on that bottom like that. So at this point our pattern is done, and the last thing is to just cut everything out. And then I now use the pattern piece to cut out my fabric pieces. So there are all my fabric pieces, and then I also cut lining pieces, and those are all my linings, and then those are all my interfacing pieces, and I used the hard interfacing. Then next I iron the interfacing onto my little fabrics, onto my fabric panels. And then I just continued. I do the rest for all my other pieces. So there I was just done ironing all of them, as you can see. Then next I now take my lining pieces and then I put them on top of the fabric, and then I pin the bottoms like that. And I do this for all the panels. Then I now go and I sew the bottoms like that, just on the curved edge only. You make a few notches like that, and then you flip it over, and then you iron. You just press it out. So here are my little fabric strips that were about 1¼ inch wide. Yeah, then I just fold them on both edges 2 times, and then I also fold them again in half like that to sort of make like binding strips. And you basically need about 10 of these. If you have 9 panels, you need 10, and if you have 10 panels, you need 11. Then now I'm joining my panels, Then I first by just putting the panels together and making sure that all the fabrics on the edges are perfectly aligned. Then I now take my little binding strip and then I put it over the edge, just like that. You need to be like very patient for this part. Then I now take some tucking thread. Today I'm using pink thread to tuck. Then I just make sure that everything, like all the layers of the fabric, are included under there, and then I tuck from the bottom to the top. So if I knew, I would have just tucked with a similar colored thread, so that even when I go to sew, it won't be like absolutely necessary for me to remove the tucking. But then I used this bright pink thread, so either way I just had to remove it after sewing. So you just continue to tuck like that. This is just all that to hide all those raw edges. Then when you get to the bottom, you fold in the little strip inside. Then I just continue to join all the panels in the same manner, and this takes a lot of time, but it's okay. So at that point I had already joined about 3 panels. And so on the last one, on the edges, on the last 2 panels, since I'm not going to be joining them together, I'll just take a little piece of binding and then just close off the edge. This is for the 2 panels that will be at the back where the peplum joins together. So there I was just basically done tucking, and I put all my panels together, and this is before I had even gone on to the sewing machine to sew. Now the last step is to go onto the sewing machine and just make sure that, and just sew everything, and just make sure that you are sewing as close to the end of the binding strip as possible, because if you sew it like maybe in the middle, you might leave some layers of fabric unsewn. And even after sewing, you still go and inspect each panel one by one to make sure that everything was included. And depending on your sewing machine, you may need to change your needle size and adjust your tension, since you'll be sewing many layers of fabric. Then there I was just basically removing that tucking stitch that I used, the pink one. And like I said, if I knew, I would have just used a teal or mint green thread. So now I was now attaching the waistband there, and there is after I'd ironed on the interfacing. Then I just put my waistband like that and pin it. So another tip is to make sure that when you put on your waistband, you make sure that all your panels are not facing one side, because if you sew all your panels facing one side, all your panels are going to be also facing one side. I don't know if you understand me. So you need to make sure that on the other half, the panels are facing outside, and on the other end, the panels are also facing the other side. Then I just went on and I sewed on the waistband on the sewing machine like that. Then I folded in those edges at the bottom and pinned them down. Then I just go ahead and hem that waistband onto the peplum. I prefer to use a hemming stitch for this, and then I used these fasteners at the back, so you can actually put more than one pair of fasteners at the back. And there the peplum was basically done. So if you're also interested in seeing how I made this wrap blouse, I'm going to link it in the comment section, and I'm also going to put it in at the end of this video. So thank you so much for watching this video. Hope to see you again next time. Bye.